got some music going. This is one of my favorite things. I'll add it to the description after because I forgot to this time. But it is Zelda and Chill by Game Chops and Mikkel. And yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do homework to do pretty much anything to. So yeah, no, it's absolutely a banger, and I like it a lot. I grew up with Legend of Zelda, so it's very nice to have a lo-fi version of it that I like a lot. And a lot of it's really nostalgic for me. Like, oh, I gotta think. I think probably the best example is going to be Midna's Lament from Twilight Princess. They have a version of this in here. I think it's from the Zelda and Chill 2. This is the trilogy because there's 3 of them. Obviously, like, I think it's Fairy Fountain right now. Absolutely banger. But, you know, special place in my heart for Twilight Princess because it was my first game, and Midna's Lament actually had me bawling at like 8 years old. I got that far and then got stuck on the, I believe, Snow Temple because I was not a child with a lot of problem solving ability. I still can get really frustrated, but you know, it's really nice to have something like that to look back on. Like, I've had some surgeries, and when I was recovering from one of them, that game was what distracted me through 3 days of really, really harsh recovery. And so, you know, it brought me a lot of joy, and Crochet kind of fills that for me now. But I enjoy it a lot. It keeps me calm. It keeps me busy. It's a nice break, and I'm hoping that, you know, YouTube is going to let me connect with other people through it. So that's kind of my end goal here. I don't really have a lot of viewership or anything right now, but that's okay. You know, it's really early on. I have plenty of time to grow. And I'm honestly just really proud and happy that I've gotten, you know, 50 subs in like, what, 3 days? You know, a lot of it was me reaching out to people I know in real life for support, but, you know, still, I know I had at least several that were completely organic. And, you know, I had a lot of others that probably came from my other platforms online for my online presence. But, you know, it's nice that my work on other platforms too has really helped my YouTube take off a little bit, and it's really just a nice feeling to know that the work I'm putting in is pretty well appreciated, I guess. And I think that's not always something that people get. So it's really just a nice thing to be able to have something like this and have something I enjoy, and to, you know, have a way to share that with others. It's a really nice feeling, and I'm really glad I can do it. So it's really a great feeling. I'm really hoping something comes of it. And, you know, that's the goal. Because it's not always easy to get through the, you know, hardships of life, and I know it's not that way for anybody. And I've had some communities where I felt supported and where I felt cared about, but, you know, life happens, and I want to be able to create that community for other people, and that's kind of why I'm getting into this. I really love it, and really nice to be able to support others with it. So even if it's just having a little stream that people can watch and just crochet along, or just enjoy the little cool, oh wow, it's movement, it's going back and forth, and there's a person talking. Because sometimes we just need that company. That's how it goes. And life can get pretty lonely, and I know I watch a lot of streamers because it can be nice to just feel like you're part of a community, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to go for here. Because there's a lot of stuff online, but I haven't seen a lot of live crochet streams, and so I was like, oh wow, that could be something I could do. And so that's what I'm doing. And it's a nice feeling. Because, you know, you can do something. There's not enough nice things in the world. So why not do it myself? Because, again, there's just not enough nice things. I have the time. I may not feel like I have the time, but I have the time. It's all about how you prioritize things. I would consider myself a pretty busy person, but I think everyone feels that way about themselves. And this is one of the priorities I have. So I'm pretty happy that this is something I can do. It's really... Crochet helped me heal a lot. I actually got into weaving first while I was in the hospital for a while, and then I got into crochet. I've been knitting for a handful of years now, and so it doesn't always end up the way that you want it to. Like, things don't in general, and I've gotten a lot of resiliency, as silly as it sounds, from making small mistakes and from having to learn to correct them, or even more importantly, just accept them. Like, I don't remember where it even came from, but I've always heard that there's a little, you know, what's it called? Like, folklore, wives' tale of you got to put mistakes in all your projects because you put your soul into it every time, and you got to have holes to let your soul out. And it's just something silly that I've learned to accept, and it's also what makes it different from being machine made. Crochet can't be replicated by machine. Knitting can. So whenever you see clothes, whenever you see fabric, it's all knitted or woven, you know? It's not crochet. But one thing that's important to keep in mind with that, for anyone who's like not fully accustomed to it, is whenever you see crochet things in like Walmart, it is usually done in developing countries, and it is usually exploitative labor practices. So one thing that you need to keep in mind and be careful about is to make sure that you are being responsible with how you shop for crocheted goods, because, you know, we firstly want to not exploit, or, you know, not exploit workers anywhere. And also, like, I like to support people everywhere, but there is something special to me about supporting like local artisans, or at least the ones in the States, you know, like being able to say, oh, this is someone out of Connecticut, I have some friends from where they're from, and stuff like that. Like, I got relatives in all sorts of places, and it's kind of nice whenever I see a vendor online. Like, I'll sometimes look at other people's Etsy stores just to like get a feel for pricing or other things, and it's really nice to see that they're from where I have family, or from where my friends are from, or anywhere else like that. I have yet to see anyone from like Wyoming. It makes me think of that Garfield clip of like, Wyoming's not real. Have you ever met anyone from Wyoming? But it is kind of true. I don't think I have seen an Etsy store from Wyoming. I haven't met anyone from Wyoming, not openly from Wyoming. And it is what it is. So yeah, I'm glad whoever's in here is just chilling with me. It is a nice feeling to know that someone is listening. Even if it's just, you know, silly venting or chatting, you know. Sometimes it's nice to just have silly little things. But I like it. It's nice to have silly little things. I try to be a positive person. I've been told I'm really bubbly, and you know, I want to keep it that way, because that's how you want to keep things. And yeah, of course, this feline companion is wanting to stay just out of view, but her tail's here. Because she's a little bean. Nara. You know what, you're gonna get sent back to your pedestal. You're getting sent back to the pedestal. You gotta be the star of the show, Inara. You gotta be the star of the show. You gotta be the star of the show. It's what you gotta do. You are meant for stardom. Because you're the baby. Hi, hun bun. Hi, honey bun. She's just a little friend. But it's so nice having a little companion for everything that I do, because she's always right here, and it's nice for crochet, and she likes to mess with my stuff. She likes to sniffs. Of course you're not doing it when I try to show off, but we all know you love the sniffs. Because that's the kind of kitty cat you are. You just love to sniff everything. You probably won't stream for too long, but I mainly just wanted to practice getting this set up and, you know, see how it goes. I was kind of hoping someone would, well, we have someone watching, and I appreciate you, but, you know, I got 50 subs, but I'm doing it during the work day, so I know that. But thank you, whoever's watching, for coming and for liking and for supporting me. I really appreciate it. I have some long-term goals with the channel, and I'd really like to have the chance to make a difference. I like to help people, and I hope people like the music. It's one of my favorites. It's a lot of fun. I know the feedback I've gotten is that, you know, some silence is good, but at a certain point, why wouldn't you just go listen to the album at that point? I like to talk and to add my own spin to things. I think there's a lot of things where people just sit in silence, and I don't really think that is where it's at. I think that it's always great to try and be active and to try and be social and to really just put yourself out there. I think a lot of people don't do that, and it's something I try to do. And I like to talk with people, so perhaps a little bit too much, because right now I'm basically talking at a wall, but I can do it anyway. I talk to her all the time, especialmente en el español, porque tengo que practicar. Casi tengo fluidez, pero siempre eres alguien para con quien puedo aprender, mejorar. It's nice to just kind of be silly. That's really why I'm getting into this, is it's nice to be silly. And it's fun to be silly. It's fun to just goof around. And I think that, I'm hopeful that other people will get some joy out of me goofing around. It's not always a big thing, but sometimes it's what you need. Sometimes it can really make your day. It's nice to be silly. It's nice to be a goofball. I like it. I think it's important. It's like I'm doing a lot of nutrition stuff at school. And I think that, an also important part of nutrition, I always joke, is that you need cookies for the soul and vegetables for the vitamins. But even though stuff's got to get taken seriously, why not have fun with other things when you can? It's called the grind set, I think, but that mindset that you just have to always be productive all the time. Like, I found myself falling into it a little bit. Like, I'm doing this for fun, but of course there's that thing of you should get monetized ASAP, you should do whatever else as soon as possible and spam things till you get all the shorts you need and go from there, and it's just, I don't want to do that. I don't want to turn something I like into something that isn't enjoyable. And I think that it's really easy to fall into that trap where you do stuff even though you don't enjoy it. And I found myself doing that a lot lately. So I'm kind of doing this to get myself out of that, because I'm kind of an attention hog. That usually happens to be the case when people are streamers. But I wouldn't say that much. I have no issue being in the spotlight, but I also like that I can make people happy. I can make people giggle when they haven't giggled in a while. It's a nice feeling to be able to do that for someone. And it really doesn't happen enough. I think it's really important for people to have something to laugh about. And sometimes I'll be the thing to laugh about, and I don't mind that. I think I'll happily make a fool of myself a little bit if it means that somebody can get a laugh out of it. I've always been that way. I was insecure about it for a while, but if they want to go from joking around to being mean, that's a them problem, and it reflects on them, not on me. And that's also been something that's really helped me improve and grow and form better relationships with people. And like, even now I feel a little bit silly pouring my heart out on stream to just, a couple people, but it's it'll hopefully bring someone some peace, bring someone some joy. Just to, you know, sit back, relax, listen to some lo-fi, watch someone do a cool little thing where they go across a row and then go back and forth and an object gets bigger. But, and also really we're just here for her. I'm here for her. She's real good. She's such a good noodle. We love her so much. Honestly, I should just put her as the thumbnail. That's what we're all here for. The crochet is secondary too. The baby. So, I mean, am I wrong? I feel like we're all here for her. So, why not acknowledge it? Why not work with it? She's fabulous. If she's good, I'll show y'all what she does for a churu. It's really funny. She's kind of a glutton. And it's really fun to watch her do stuff. Sounds good, Mary. I fully expect to just be something in the background, if that makes sense. Like, I'm perfectly content with that. Sometimes it's just nice to have someone be white noise. Because that's just how it goes. But it's sometimes nice to have white noise where it's someone and it's not just one thing and all that good stuff. So but you're just a little noodle. It's just a little noodle. It's just a little friend. She's just a gal. Here she goes. We all need some noodle in our lives. I need higher amounts of noodle. I need a higher dose of noodle than a lot of people. But you know, it kind of sucks because unfortunately I can't put cat on my health insurance. But oh well. She's a great friend regardless, as she's the baby. Yeah, she's sitting there all prim and proper on her little pedestal, because she knows we love her more than anything, because she's the baby. So why are you being so dramatic? You're just brooding over here. You're like a little gargoyle. You're like a little sphinx. You're not very good at protecting, but you try your best. It's kind of silly because YouTube's saying, like, I have 3 viewers in one spot and 2 in another, and in another it's saying 2, and then in one it's saying 1. So I love YouTube doing YouTube things because YouTube. But you know, I can't blame them. It's streaming software can be rough. But I'm at least glad to know people are here. It means a lot. So thank you. I'm hoping it'll be better whenever I have an actual stream schedule. But I don't right now, so that's a work in progress. Oh, beans, I made a mistake. Inara, you could have prevented this. Why didn't you prevent my hubris? I'm working on a shawl right now, but maybe it'll be more popular if I work on some plushies next time. I'm not sure how long I'll be going at this, but no point not going for it. It's like been, what, half an hour now? So, why not? Probably go for an hour. See if anyone else joins. If not, the VOD will be up later. I'll probably edit out the first part just because I know I had the audio like blasting, so I don't want to blow out my own eardrums editing and then anyone else's either. But I don't think I'm ever going to do a lot of heavy editing for my channel. I kind of just prefer to be legitimate. I feel more genuine. I think that there needs to be more genuine stuff, like no editing, no stuff like that. Like maybe for thumbnails, you know, making something pop. But outside of that, like, you know, maybe clips with some transitions in them. But outside of that, why? You know, I want to be real with you guys. I want to be real with this because I don't want to take something I care about and have to hide who I am to show people about it. So it's kind of like, you know, why would I worry about it? It's not ideal, but I think being real with myself and being real with other people is more important than maybe the extra views that we get by being, you know, hyper edited. You know, obviously for a lot of stuff, like editing really leads to an increase in quality and everything else. So, like, some of my favorite videos are highly edited because it really just helps with humor and with everything else in those specific streams. But I think a lot of the time people do it to the extent that they don't really, it doesn't really feel like it's a real person on the other end anymore. And I prefer to feel like it's a real person. It makes it a lot better, I think. And it makes me happy to feel that connection with people. And I think that in this era, the power of online connections is severely underrated. Like, I have the group of friends I play Overwatch with, and, you know, they're all from a completely different area than me, different time zones, everything. But we have a ton of fun, and I've been able to talk with them about some really difficult issues, and we have respectful, open conversations, and these are more open than I can really have with most people in my life, like my physical, in-person life. And I trust them. They know my name. They know my stuff. You know, here pretty soon I'm probably going to give them my, like, true personal info just in case something happens. I've got some health issues, so it's always good to have them know, you know, where you are, address, if they need to do emergency contact stuff, or at least to be able to contact my family. So it's kind of just an important thing to keep in mind. It's something I think about a lot. I think online communication and closeness is severely underrated in how we do things. it's like remote work too. Like I get to work remotely for a lot of my work, and it's nice, and I get to do my classes remotely, and it really gives me more time to be me and to do what I want to do, and I get just as much done, if not more done. Like with lectures, it sounds so silly, but I cannot stand lectures at normal speed because it feels like every professor is either too fast or too slow, and I can't keep up anyway. So it's like, I'd much rather be able to pause it, you know, because a lot of the time you can't do anything whenever that professor is just, you know, just like speeding through it, especially for some really complicated subjects like biochemistry, or like, I couldn't imagine doing it in like the engineering classes or something. Like that would be absolutely wild, and people still do that, and that is absolutely crazy to me. I probably won't be streaming for too much longer just because I have some medicine on the way, just because I have a little bit of a cold thing right now. But I just got the text about that. But, you know, I'm hoping people will watch the VOD for this, maybe get to know me a little bit. Because I think I've been pretty open with this about, you know, who I am and what I'm here for. And, you know, I'm hoping people can see that, you know, I try to be genuine. As you can see, I got some dirty dishes right there. I take care of everything on my own, and sometimes it's just, life happens and dishes pile up a little bit. And sometimes you need to just let them pile up. And then whenever you're up for it, you go and wash them. And I'm a real person, and I'll talk about that with my dishes being piled up. Because that's how life is. And we can't all be perfect, and we can't all have everything be great. Except for her. She can have everything be perfect all the time. Because it's her. She's great. She has ascended beyond mortal comprehension. But I still love her dearly, even though I cannot understand what is going on in her head. I don't think any mortal can comprehend whatever this thing is talking about. And like, not necessarily talking, but you get what I mean. She's incomprehensible. Look at her go. Look at her go. What an amazing creature. You know. You're gonna do a sniff? Okay, that was kind of a lazy sniff, but you know, A for effort, I guess. I'll give you a C for effort, realistically. That wasn't very high effort. Could have been more effort, but lazy friendo. I mean, I'm just crocheting and listening to lo-fi. Sometimes we just need to be lazy, you know? So, that's the vibe. It's just like that sometimes. So, yeah, I'm really hoping that as I stream more and as I plan out my streams a little better, that I'll be able to talk with more people, get to know more people. You know, just kind of, oh, you gonna hop up? Yep. Get to know people. Maybe help people find their crochet community. Maybe feel a little bit less silly about doing it. I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, that's such an old lady thing, and I own it. I own it. I'm like, yeah, I'll go squat up at the senior center with their crochet club if they'll have me. But, you know, like, don't be ashamed of having hobbies or liking things or anything else. Anyone who cares is just the equivalent of a high school bully. You don't need that. You don't need to care about that. You're better than that. The only one who's like better than you is her. Like, you do what you need to do. Find your happiness, live your truth. And that's all you can really do sometimes. You gonna plop down, honey pie? You're gonna stare at the wall? You're gonna sneeze? She's got a little bit of kitty asthma. But we are currently waiting on her inhaler to get shipped to the country because we get it from abroad because it's cheaper, even with shipping. So we're just getting the little bun, her inhaler, because she's a spoiled little baby and I love her so much. Now, at least it's not like person healthcare. Person healthcare is just like a massacre. Like, if the illness doesn't kill you, the hospital bill will. And that's wild to me. It makes me sad. But it is what it is. Because, you know, I'm just whining about it because I had to go to the doctor today. I was pretty lucky with my insurance, but it still sucks. And, you know, I was kind of nervous about going because I was worried the copay would be higher than it was. It makes me sad because I could have gotten a lot sicker if we didn't deal with it now. I just got a little bronchitis, but, you know, bacteria can be opportunistic, and if things got worse, you know, that would have been completely avoidable by giving me the meds now. But you can only do that if you go see a practitioner. And it's nice to just get that sorted out. And it's really nice that they have, like, quick care clinics, you know? You gonna descend, baby girl? Wow. We love that, girl boss. This thing's getting big enough to where I'm not really making much progress with each row anymore. But that's alright. We're getting there. And that's okay. I like making that progress and doing what I want to do with my time and trying to make things that will make people happy. And, you know, I had a family friend who, her kid ended up in the hospital after a vehicle accident, and I kind of figured it happened, but I knew it would make mom happy. I gave her one of these shawls that I've made. And, you know, the kid saw it and it was soft, and I say kid, but it's like a young teenager, but when you have something like that, you're scared. And so she saw one of these shawls I made and she took it, and, you know, sick kid privilege, of course, mom let her keep it. But, you know, like when I saw their update on Facebook and saw that, you know, like they actually had my shawl was peeking out from the corner of the screen with where the kid was resting. And that makes me really happy because, like, you know, I make these at markets and like 4 markets, and, you know, I'll never get a fair price for how much work I put in. I put in like 40 hours minimum, or, you know, max usually, but still that's like a full work week, you know? So I'll never get a fair price by that standard. But I would easily make multiples more if it meant that I could make someone's day like that again. I probably made their week. It's having such a stressful time like that, and we visited her for lunch, and I just gave that to her, and it gave her something. It gave her something tangible, and that you can see the effort someone put in. And I think that's really hard to get now. I think that money is kind of viewed as like the central end all be all, but money wasn't going to make her kid feel better right then. And I made something, and as silly as people think crochet is, I made something that made a sick kid happy. And I don't really think you can have a better use of your time than that. like, I also make plushies. Like, once I finish this little bit, I'll show y'all. But I make these little plushies. And kids absolutely adore these little plushies. And I make them for markets, and like I sold them at Pride Fest and they did really well. And I made some bees, and I don't have any of the bees right now. But what I do have is I have this little basket of all the friends I do have made. And so I also do weaving. So I have some little like cool keychains like this, and you can see they're price tagged for my market. And I got some rainbow ones, and I got like a lanyard right here. But I got this guy, it's a little octopus. He's just a little guy. And I also have this guy, he's a whale. I just freehanded him, which means like I did it without a pattern. I don't know how I did it, but it's a whale. Got Big Frog. He's just a guy. Guy's a little bit weird, but you know, kids love him anyway. Kids love this stuff, and it really makes me happy to see them happy. And you know, adults love it too. And I got a little guy, it's a little cat keychain. It can be whatever you want. It's just kind of a little friend, and you figure out what you want it to be. And then I got another little octopus. It's a little guy. They need little smooches, and I'm not going to smooch this guy because, you know, it's usually a gifter to other people. But they just do need little smooches. And then I got a turtle. I think that's what I'm using as the thumbnail for this, is one of these guys. I have a lot of guys because I make a lot of little critters. And, geez, I ran out of frogs. I'm running out of frogs. But I got another little frog. I got a little frog instead of a big frog. And then I have a bunch of cats. Like this guy. He's a little guy. Got this guy. And sometimes we put little colored things on the outside and call them sprinkle cats. And that's always fun. And we've had a lot of kids get them for birthday gifts for people, you know? Or like, you know, stuff like that. Pink cat. This cat my sister did the face on. And then this guy. Another cat. Another aggressively pink cat. But, oh, thank you. But it's just nice to have that kind of stuff. You know, be able to make that stuff for people. It's a really nice feeling. And like, I always get to joke that, oh wow, it saves so much money on Christmas gifts or whatever else, but you know, it would realistically be so much more time efficient to just work instead. But yes, it is Zelda Lo-Fi. I need to put the credit in the description, but I forgot, and so I don't know how to do it on OBS. So I will be doing it in the description before I upload it to the YouTubes, because I am a clown. But what this is the Zelda and Chill trilogy, and it is by Game Chops, like pork chops, but Game Chops, and Mikkel, M-I-K-E-L, and they, well, believe it or not, the Legend of Zelda trilogy, like the Zelda and Chill trilogy, means it has 3 different Zelda and Chills. And I like the first one, and I haven't really heard much of the third one really, so I've heard some of that for the first time in here. But the first one is almost more like jazzy, if that makes sense. And the second one is very like piano-y and a vibe. Like this one's Zelda and Chill too. I know, it's Cass's theme. It's the little guy who's at the stables in Breath of the Wild. And one thing, I never played Tears of the Kingdom, but one thing that made me really sad from what people said is that he's not there anymore. And, you know, I would have liked it if he was, because it's Cass's theme. We love Cass. He's just the guy. He's just the guy with the little accordion thing. And we love that, because he's just doing his thing. And he somehow is at all the camps. He's just like everywhere, to my knowledge. I don't actually remember. Actually, I could be wrong. But I think he travels around a lot and you see him at different spots, which is like sometimes, I always love when there's that thing, because like you'll fast travel and everybody's like, wow, you got here so quick. But yeah, and I will probably step out for a minute just here in a second. But, you know, I'm probably just going to go pick up the meds and not stop the stream just because it should only take a minute or two. But y'all can watch her in her infinite glory while I'm gone, and hopefully she won't steal my chair, but there's a solid chance she's going to steal my chair, because that is the wonder of having a small creature. I love her dearly, but she is a thief. But yes, I shall return shortly. Yeah. Y'all have fun with the supreme creature, the absolutely supreme baby. We love the supreme baby. But absolutely fabulous little creature. Look at you go. She's just amazing. We just adore her. She is literally the star of the show. She is baby and I adore her. She's just a girl. This is one of my favorite songs in the Lo-Fi album. It's the one for Hyrule Castle. The one in Breath of the Wild, I don't know if they changed it for Tears of the Kingdom. It reminds me, it's, I don't know why, but, Beans, but on Mario Party 8, right? Like on the Wii. I don't know if you guys have played that, but there's like the Boo Haunted Mansion level. And this always reminds me of that theme from that whole level. And it's really funny to me because it's like all the Nintendo stuff being connected, if that makes sense. Because there's a good chance that they were, you know, working on the same team or something at some point. But it's like Mario versus Legend of Zelda. And I like seeing the connections between all that stuff. But, very nice. It's absolutely fabulous. And there's just a bean. It's just a little guy. It's just a little gal. I have some plushies I could finish, but I don't really want to finish the plushies, to be honest. I've been like postponing doing it. I probably will as the next stream, because I think people would be interested in watching me aggressively like finish some frogs. But I'm not interested in frogging out right now, unfortunately. I don't like making the faces. I know it's just part of it, but I like to whine about it because I don't like it. I don't like to put the little faces on the frogs. I much prefer to just make the frogs and then let them sit in a box. Because why would I actually finish the frogs that I put effort into? You gotta do that instead. This is another good one I like. Very chill. Absolutely a vibe. But yeah, I found out that Game Chops, which is the like record label for this, lets you use all of their stuff in your streams as long as you give them credit. So I'm gonna make sure to have that in the description whenever I post it. And really hoping that I'll be able to keep using their stuff in the long run because it makes me happy. I like their stuff a lot, and you know, maybe I'll end up introducing some other people to it, and maybe for the people who are already familiar with it, they can enjoy it with me. Like, Mary recognized it as, you know, Legend of Zelda Lo-Fi, and I think a lot of other people will too. And I think that it's really fun to have people recognize stuff like that, because it really is recognizable, but it's also its own unique thing, kinda, and I like that a lot. I think that Mikhail did a great job with this. I think that he put his own twist on the album, and like in the albums when he was making the stuff, and I think that it's actually just really well done. It makes me happy, like I said. And I think it's really easy to forget how much work goes into things like this. Yeah, I adore Zelda. Like, on a lot of my things I use Twilight Princess or Twilight, and a lot of people think that it's from My Little Pony when they first see it, and it's Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. It was one of the first video games I ever played, and it's a big part of why I learned to read. Yeah, because I was stuck in Orden Village, or however you pronounce it, the tutorial village, and I was there for years until I accidentally triggered the cutscene, and then I couldn't read the instructions for how to leave. And so I got so mad, I actually started to learn to read when I had been spitefully against reading before that. And I think it's really funny, and the game's brought me a ton of joy over the years. And I finally finished it after one of my surgeries, when I never got to finish it as a kid. Rivali's theme, which is this one, is also a really good one. It's the Vamado Guardian guy from Breath of the Wild. Most of this stuff is Breath of the Wild, but there's a lot that's not. It's just that I know that there's a lot of Twilight Princess in here too. I just think those two games generally have the most expansive and, in my opinion, best soundtracks. But like, every game has its own thing that makes it stand out. I just soft spot for Twilight Princess, and I don't think that anyone could refute Breath of the Wild being an awesome one. So why not, you know? I may try and do a gaming stream at some point. I think it would just be fun. And I got the squad that I often will game with, and I could see if they'd be interested too. But, you know, I guess the biggest concern would be, you know, this is meant to be like a craft channel, and I don't want to take away from that. And then also, you know, like, whenever you get into gaming, especially as a chick, people can kind of be jerks. And so, you know, I don't want to endanger here the people I care about. But it's just kind of sad that's a concern. Yes, reading out of spite. Spite is what keeps me going. Honestly, I do so many things out of spite at this point. Like, I love to read now. But, you know, learned out of spite. Math out of spite. This creature is incredibly spiteful, and she has been my mentor in many things, despite just being a small friend. I love the small friend dearly, but yeah, she has taught me the art of doing things in a fit of rage. Brings me great joy. Because sometimes you just need to do things and be angry the whole time. Angie is a very powerful tool. I quite enjoy the power of Angie. Oh wow, we've already hit an hour. How much longer is in the... Oh dang, yeah. It's a 2-hour playlist. So at some point I'll have to figure out how to get more, maybe I'll have to get into their other stuff. Oh no! I know, it's just so horrible listening to one of my favorite studios and getting to explore their music. Because I actually, unfortunately, haven't gotten to look at much of their stuff outside of Legend of Zelda. I'm a creature of habit, and I haven't felt like exploring. And so maybe doing this kind of stuff would be really helpful for that. Because I've been practicing and working on getting out of my comfort zone for things like that. Because, you know, I do it to relax, but sometimes it can be really easy to just kind of be extremely rigid and not really work on being flexible and being adaptable to changes. And so, like, if I go to a friend's house or something and they maybe play different music different than what I listen to, it can be really hard for me to handle that. And so I've been trying to be a lot more flexible with how I do things and to be kinder to myself about overcoming things, because it's perfectly natural and normal to have habits and to not want to stray from them. But I've also come to really respect how important it is to learn how to stray from them as a skill. And it's really changed how I view a lot of things. I talk about her a lot, but it is always fun to see how if I change my daily routine by even just a little bit, oh my gosh, I have clearly committed every, like, core crime known to man. And she is dying as a result of me not petting her the exact same way that I do the rest of the time. And maybe y'all like, yeah, she just went out a little bird. Yeah, I know, you're just doing a little bird at me. She's just a little friend. And, you know, she's just like that. She's just very rigid. And I don't think she has the emotional maturity to act differently. And it's quite sad. Because she could be so much better, and it's clearly all her fault that, you know, she just hasn't put in the work, y'all. She just hasn't put in the work. It's so sad. It's so sad. She is already 16, so she legally should be able to drive, and soon she'll be able to vote, which is quite dangerous because she does not have the maturity to not throw a tantrum whenever I close a door. And she will be deciding our nation's future. A terrifying thought indeed. Yeah, I really... It's an online yarn company. Yeah. Okay, that's literally me though too. I'm legally allowed to vote, and I'm like, oh my god, making a competent decision. Can't be having none of that around here, you know? But all in all, it's been a true learning experience, I guess. But she's been really good for me. I've had her for most of my life, and you know, I've talked about, oh, I want to bring you joy and this and that and the other thing, but she brings me more joy than I can really even express. And I'm hoping that just, you know, being on video and being a silly little goose, she can hopefully bring you guys some joy too. I know that with my online friends, they'll hear me being like, you're just a baby! You're just a baby! And, oh my goodness, like, I'll show y'all something in just a second. Just had to take a med real quick. But if you carefully maneuver the baby, she will just be a beb. She'll just be a little beb. And if you do the little drumstick dance, she'll look at me. And she's just a little panini. She's just a little panini. She's just a little friend. She's just a little girl. You wanna sit like this, honey bun? You wanna... Oh wow, you're just shaking your paws clean at me, huh? But yeah, she will just... Like, y'all know the one meme of the, like, mostly white cat? Yeah, exactly! You know the little... But, like, you guys know the meme of the, like, the chonky cat just sitting on his... Like, the wah, wah. Like, that one, I think I may be mixing up memes, but the like cat, the really chonky cat that just sits like this with its legs out, I think of that every time I see her like this now. And she's just a little gal, and she will sit like this with me for hours, and I love her. I love her so much, y'all. I literally cannot express how much of a baby she is. She is fabulous and could never commit a crime, despite having committing all of them. And she's a hoot. And she is fun and she is cute. And I love her an unfathomable amount. But yeah, I can even do the one-hand drum, and she will activate, and it's adorable. She's just a little bean. She also has a wonderful bean harvest. Are you going to show your beans? Y'all can't see the beans very well, but you can see some semblance of bean. It's amazing. She has a wonderful harvest every year. She's just a fabulous little friend. I think the drumstick drummer dance is going to be... I think that's going to be popular. I think people are going to like that a lot. Because she's just a little drumstick. She's just a little drumstick drummer. She is. Did you know that, Narums? I don't think she knows. Because she's just a little panini. She's just a little panini. Even though she looks so done with me, I promise you, she is living her best life. I think my favorite one is coming up. Where is it? Oh, it was literally the one before this, and I just wasn't paying attention. Oh well. It is Midna's Lament from Twilight Princess. Because the scene in the game from which that is from had me sobbing like a baby. I was also post-surgery, on post-surgery drugs. But damn, it took me 30 minutes to calm down. And, you know, that's adorable. It's adorable. This is just a little bean. She's just a little bean. Oh no, I messed up. I messed up. Ah. I did a count, y'all. Woo! There we go. Just a little panini. But yeah, y'all can see she's basically just a liquid. But we are vibing and living our best lives. We are living our truth. But yeah, I didn't fully get it because I hadn't streamed before. But like, I get for why, for a lot of people, this would be pretty exhausting. But for me, I don't really mind it, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes my conversations in real life end up being pretty one-sided. So this honestly doesn't feel that different. I tend to be more of an entertainer than someone who isn't the center of conversation, because it just, you know, other people don't always put in the same like energy I do. So sometimes my energy just has to carry things, and that's fine. But as a result, you know, this kind of stuff doesn't bother me as much to not have a whole lot of stuff. But, you know, it is what it is, c'est la vie. And the important bit is we got a little bean. She's just a little bean, y'all. She's just a little bean. I don't know what kind, but it just came off the bean plant. Yeah, looking at me because I'm coughing, huh? Oh, I'm gonna see if she'll do the thing. She will. Oh, y'all haven't seen that. Y'all haven't. She will. Y'all are gonna want to watch this. If I'm scratching her neck, and then I take my arm away, she will try and grab it. And she is like, "You will scratch the neck." I don't know if y'all can see this, but her breath also sucks. So whenever she does that, my arm smells like garbage. Oh, I wasn't even yanking it away. She was just like, "Wah!" But she's just a little friend. I love her. She's amazing. She's absolutely phenomenal. She's just a little gal. Just a little friend. We're going back to the crochet zone though. I want to make some progress on this bad boy. I'd like to finish it before I have finals at La Escuela, La Universidad. Because I like progress. I like finishing things eventually. I may end the stream fairly soon just because I probably should work on other stuff. But I just was like, hey, I have the energy now, and you know, why not go for it? I'll probably trim off the first bit, but just because I know that I had the music way up, like, I'm gonna assume that this is a solid volume just for everything to be at, but it was not at a good volume before. It was probably like ear deafening lo-fi. So yeah, you have a good day. You have a good luck at work. Bye. I will probably end it here then, actually. But it was really nice to vibe with y'all. And I will try to stream again soon. But what I am kind of leaning towards right now is like a Saturday morning stream. It's kind of what I'm planning right now. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure there's going to be a whole lot of people. Might do Friday night. Might do some gaming Friday night too. I don't know. Might do some gaming. Might do some gaming with the little drumstick lady. She's a pro gamer. Yeah, you're a little... Oh yeah, you just want the scritches. That's all you want me for. Cool.